All right, I'm going to try to make this really, really quick. You know, a lot of people lately have been asking me, do you have any gifts of the Spirit, of the Holy Spirit? And indeed I do. I have the gift of discernment. Now, I can't discern a dream that you may have and ask me, can you help me to discern this dream? I have a different type of discernment. I can discern an evil presence, a demonic spirit. I have the gift of discerning spirits, and I've had it for the majority of my life. I don't talk about it a whole lot because I don't want to frighten you, have you thinking that I'm looking at you to see if you have a spirit attached to you. Let me give you a little bit of my background. Anyone that is watching this, if you truly have the gift of discerning spirits, I want you to leave a comment in the comment section below confirming that what I'm telling is accurate, so people do know. Now, you'll know. If you have the gift of discerning spirits, you'll know that what I'm telling is accurate or not. Now, I grew up in a very, very Christian household. My grandmother, now let me explain something. Very special woman. And that's why I'm so adamant about people having dreams and visions, giving prophecy all the time. A word from God every day, numerous times a day, because she indeed was blessed with the gift of prophecy. Now, back in her day, a lot of people would say, oh, it's intuition. But as growing up as a young boy and into manhood until the time she passed away, on many occasions, the stories are numerous, and I don't have time. I would say, Grandma, you got the gift of prophecy. And she'd say yes. But she didn't have a dream every night or a word. One quick story happened before I was born, of course, but the family forever talked about this. This is only one example. My mom and dad had just got married, and they had a camper. And they were spending their honeymoon in the woods. It was 100 and some miles north from where they had lived in my grandmother's house. So they were out in the woods, and in the middle of the night, a lot of things happen at 3 o'clock in the morning. And if you have the gift of discerning spirits, you'll know there's a connection to 3 o'clock a.m. She got a word from God. He woke her up and told her, your daughter is in danger. Her life is in danger. That someone was going to try to kill her. So, of course, no one in the home at the time, my grandfather, nobody there, believed her. But she said, I have a word from God. She called the local sheriff, and sure enough, the sheriff pulled up just as a man had a knife, and he was going to rob them and kill them, and not leave. He didn't want any witnesses left behind. And he was an escaped murderer. He had cut the screen out of the camper they were in, and he was halfway through the window when they apprehended him, and my mother and my dad were in a panic. Now, with me, again, to confirm what I'm telling you, I'm going to try to make it quick. Leave a comment below if you truly have a gift of discerning spirits. Leave a comment below to confirm that what I'm telling is indeed accurate, because you'll know. Now, I don't know if this is tied in or not. I was at a very young age. I was in church, and something happened to me. I was going to tell this story, and I'm going to have to make it really quick. I don't know really what happened to me. I became filled, I know, with the Holy Spirit, and I was illuminated in the brightest white light. You couldn't even imagine the whiteness of this light. And it's like I was taken from the pew that I was in church at a young age, and I don't know where I was going, but I was on a journey with this light that was just surrounding me and protecting me. But I was shown hideous things. I was shown demons, demonic spirits. But they cowered at the light. Like it today. They cowered. They would cower when the light come. They were in fear of that light. As we would go away, they would start shouting blasphemies, terrible names. The light would come back, and they would disappear. Very true story. A few years later, this is when I started to know something was right about this, that I did have a gift of discernment, of discerning spirits. I stayed the night at a friend's house, and again, it was at 3 o'clock in the morning. What is it? If you have the gift of discerning spirits, leave a comment on anything that I'm saying to verify what I'm saying is accurate. 3 o'clock in the morning, I woke up and I couldn't move. Kind of like sleep paralysis. But I couldn't. But I was staying the night at a friend's house, and on his dresser. Now, I don't know if it was a fallen angel or a demonic spirit. I don't know. But it must have been 10 feet tall. It was sitting there, and it was hideous. And it was looking at me. But it couldn't move. It couldn't move. I'm going to talk about the Anunnaki and what we see. It looked like that, like a lizard person. It could not move. And when I took a deep breath, and out of nowhere, I just hollered, Jesus, and it was gone that quick. It was gone. And as time went on, again, verify this if you have the gift of discerning evil spirits in the comment section, so people know what I say is accurate. If someone had a spirit attached to them, and I was around them, I would get deathly sick. I would get sick to my stomach. I knew something was wrong. This is at the earlier stages after that incident happened. I would smell sulfur, the smell of sulfur. And later on through the years, sometimes if a spirit was attached, a demon, to a person, and they're tricky. They will trick you. A lot of them just play pranks. They are tricksters. But sometimes they will tell you their name, and on the person's forehead, their name, it will manifest for a moment. It'll be on their forehead, their name, and then it'll go away as quick as it came. And you can tell usually by a person's eyes. I've been called to many a house, to many a person that has a form of possession, an evil spirit attached to them. One house, I'm going to tell you real quick. I went to, if you have a dream catcher, get rid of it. Don't have it in your home. I went to a house where a woman was possessed because I could determine even who the spirit was. And I don't want to give you the names. They have names. Believe me. Look at the Legion. We are many. They have names. I'm going to talk about the Kundalini snake spirit in a moment. But some, I don't want to give you the name. It's not a good thing to do. Again, if you have the gift of discerning spirits, verify what I say to be accurate. I went to this home. There was a lady possessed, and she was crawling on the floor, barking like a dog. And I can't repeat the things she said. I really can't. And it's, I just can't do that. I won't do that. It's terrible. It's blasphemy. But as she was walking across the floor, I knew right away. I knew the name. There was more than one spirit attached. In the archway, the owner of the home had a dream catcher. Now, other people around seen this. Again, if you have the gift of discerning spirits, leave a comment. Am I telling the truth? Am I being accurate? There were other people in the home, and they witnessed this, as I did. And I think it was for my attention. The dream catcher, I may have told the story, started to spin like this. There was no furnace going, no fan going. It was just hanging over the archway, and it would go real fast. Then it would start going the opposite direction. There's a meaning to this swirling and going one direction to the other. It is about a vortex, and I don't have time to get into it right now, but it's very significant. And then the entire ceiling illuminated into the most multicolored orbs. All the while, this lady's barking. Now, we talked about the Kundalini spirit. It'll make you bark and do animal sounds. This is not what she had, and I will not tell you what she had. There was a gold, very large ceramic statue of a panther, I guess, but it was painted gold instead of black. True story. It took a long time. It took a lot of work to rid this lady of the demons that were attached to her. As she crawled across the floor, the statue, its head turned and followed her. And she'd come back, its head would come back. And it was a ceramic statue. These things are true. I can tell if there is a demonic spirit attached to a person. I do have that gift of discernment. So hopefully anyone watching this will verify that what I say is true. I hear a lot of people saying they have a gift of discernment of spirits. And they will utter a few names that more resemble the names of the fallen watchers or the fallen Nephilim. I'll give you, there's a demon spirit that's running rampant. And I'm not saying anyone has it on YouTube, and it causes people to not tell the truth. To say something may be a word from God. They like to play God. They are very tricky. They want you to believe things, falsehoods, and it's Jezebel. Don't forget that name, Jezebel. Okay, and I don't want to talk too much more about this because you know, that's one spirit. Then you got the Kundalini spirit that is from, it's a Hindu snake spirit, which imitates the Holy Spirit. And a movement in the 90s did take place, and it has run rampant. You know, there is evil all over YouTube right now. If a person, like a watchman, tries to warn you, but you don't heed the warning, these things can attach to you by who you follow, because they're very tricky. Real quick, talk about Ghostbusters. People talk about ghosts and seeing loved ones or an image. And what it is they come in from another dimension. And they are evil spirits too. They are really not your loved ones you're seeing. They like to play tricks. These are the ones that really like to play pranks on you and tricks. Talk about poltergeists and pictures and fallen dishes coming out of the cupboards and crosses, crucifixes flying across the room. They like to play tricks. They're not real powerful. I can tell if that, well, I'm not even going to get into that, but no, that was not a demonic spirit. If you think what I'm talking about a fallen crucifix, that was rigged for views. It wasn't a demon spirit. But they'll come in and out like a radio signal. They'll be kind of fuzzy. That's why you see a film, a thin film. They're not a strong spirit. But when you talk about Satan's and demons, they come in and out from another dimension, and they can even attach to you very quickly. A lot of people today in psychiatric wards are diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic, and some are not. Some have a form of possession, a demon spirit attached to them. And it's sad because all they do is get medicated, and you can tell by looking into the eyes. There's a very bad spirit that is around today. Kasadia, the fifth Satan. And that's all I'm going to say. And if you have the gift of discerning spirits, you'll know what I say is accurate. Satan is running all, YouTube is really getting bad. It's really getting bad. There's spirits that attach to a person's ego. And, if you send me a personal message, I might tell you. If you ask me a question about somebody on YouTube, I might give you an answer. I don't know if I'll give you the name. You got to be careful. There's some very bad ones. You don't even want to repeat their name. But again, I do have the gift of discerning spirits. I've been called to many in a church. A woman passed out on the floor, blasphemy, and I happened to be there. So I've been called on many occasions because I do have the gift of discerning spirits. And no, I'm not looking at you, but you can tell. You can tell if you have the gift of discernment. If something's not right, usually young people will happen through a head injury. They find a way. They need a way to come in. A lot of times you'll just let them in. You'll invite them in by doing things you shouldn't do, or by following people you shouldn't follow. So listen to me. Listen to me. Everything I bring you is the truth. If I tell you I think something is wrong with this person, you need to believe me. You need to believe me because you don't want this. They're very tricky. They're very evil. Some will kill you. I mean, I've had my own battles. Physical battles with demonic entities. But for whatever reason, they just flee. But I can tell you there's something is attached to you or trying to get at you. If you have the gift of discerning spirits, and leave a comment and see if you verify everything I said to be fact. Leave me comments, everyone. I love you. Listen to me when I tell you something's wrong. God bless.